We are live. Give it a couple of minutes. This is entertainment purposes only. Viewer advised. Welcome. These are just downloads. Happy Thanksgiving from yesterday. I did not want to come on. I was being triggered, but I'm allowing this trigger to transmute energies. And how do I do that? I just allowed spirit to go through the emotion because maybe one of my ancestors did not pass a particular thing of reality to live or something like that. I don't know. So this is just entertainment purposes only. Viewer advised, and happy Native American Day as well. I'm also part Native American. I'm a lot of things, but mostly Native American. But anyway, it's a lot of shit triggered me this week, but this been the biggest trigger. But I'm noticing how I am reacting in moments because I'm not allowing what it's putting me in those moments to re-identify who I should be or who I am. I just know who I am. And the things that you are noticing within yourself, you're kind of setting an alarm to the universe, setting a frequency to a part of you that could not seek any type of justice in those moments. So I'm letting it thrive, I'm letting it continue. So if this is me during the flame, what is me after I rise, after I risen out of the ashes? Because as I keep stating, we are not the same person of each hour, each minute of the day. As I realize how time is consciously speeding up, and how time is consciously speeding up is because it's not us consciously doing it, but it's something outside of us doing it. Because it has an agenda, it has a purpose, so let it be. So let's break the matrix, shall we? And how I'm understanding the matrix is by going within. And how I'm understanding the matrix is by also going without. I can go within side of its own reality of how it existed in my fucking reality and your reality. It's about how you react in the moment of when the matrix keeps, whether you want to say somewhat attacking you or acknowledging you, either way, there is something within you experiencing like gratitude of time. And a part of you is always in the imaginary, which is the unconscious. The unconscious version of you is the inner child version of you. So that inner child version of you is going to have a godlike consciousness. When you break out of the godlike consciousness, you're the ultimate supreme. You're much more than just what you are naming yourself. You're more than what you're knowing that self. Only you know you in the moment of time, not time reflecting your moment. Because this matrix time does not exist. Why is 2 hours feeling like almost 4? Why is it going so drastically fast? Why are we losing 3 hours of sleep and not gaining any hours of sleep? There is a sandman. Somebody is operating time within the matrix and also within the minds. And when you're losing both time and losing both frequency, you're on a different path, you're on a different surface, you're on a different dimension than what you thought you was on, that level of dimension you were on. So when you're in that different space of mind, learn to control what you have learned here when you're entering that world, when you're entering that different dimension. Because odds are it's the same reflection, but just in different moments of time, of different version of you experiencing something totally different in a different path. Like, as I'm realizing how to step outside of the matrix is not believing the matrix, because the matrix does not believe in what it's saying. So therefore, it does not own or know its own consciousness. Therefore, you are a living, breathing thing that can not only experience what's in reality, but also experience what's in your mind. Whether you get to travel when you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, we are traveling into different realms. And then these realms are our real true experiencing. What we are experiencing in the day is just a projection of what we are truly experiencing in the mind, because these vessels, these spirits who you come across, who is giving you such hard times, are actually giving you clues to the next part of your timeline, reality, for you to exist. They are creating a character or another avatar for you to enter. Not a lot of people can do that. I'm sorry if I have such a Luciferians type of consciousness, if you want to say that. It's because I chose a particular moment of time to actually express the God version of me, and still believing that there is another God version, like whatever, outside of me operating with the same time frequency. Because one, I'm not allowing it to master me. I'm actually learning to master myself by observing it. One, gods do not create enslavement. Gods do not create followers. Gods lead. Gods protect. Gods and goddesses, that's what we are. That's what we do. We protect. Hi, welcome on it. How are you? And there are gonna be moments where we feel like it's too much. We're back. Sorry. It's the, anyhow. There are gonna be times where we feel like it's too much and too less. In those moments of time, you have to say affirmation to yourself that can keep you afloat and risen and make you stay on the level you want to see yourself. But you cannot always control the levels of experience that you would experience in a human mind versus the God mind. The Matrix is going to try to take both of your minds, the God version of you and the human version of you. Then how are you going to escape its maze? Well, this is what we did. We created a maze where that the Matrix cannot understand our pathway of coding when we want to escape. There's only, thank you for subbing. There's only a few people, few spirits like you and me, actually step outside of time, outside of themselves, and recreate a different version of themselves. Hi, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? Much appreciated of you. And a lot of times we, as gods and goddesses, yes, I remember you. As a lot of time as gods and goddesses, we, something bad happens to us in our timeline, because in order for us to vibrate in a certain frequency of existence in our I'm sorry I'm saying that wrong, but just think of it as a bird as a bird consciousness. When you're in a bird's mind, how do birds observe, and how do certain birds react within their space and time? Do they get to stay flying forever, or do they land? And then where do they land in consciousness? Think of yourself exactly the same. Although there might be a version of you who don't really truly remember being of that reflection of that bird, because what were you before you got to this level? What were you before you got to this consciousness? Hi, welcome. Hope you're okay. And we can get hijacked. I've seen where sometimes I will visualize something for my day, and my time either gets taken or remastered by somebody else. And I'd be wondering, what's this agenda for? Either I go afloat and attend to the event, or I choose a way out. Just like dreams, they have doorways. And a lot of you have been dreaming about a blue door. That's me. A lot of you have been dreaming about me. That's also me. Sorry. But not sorry. I have to use your subconscious in order to bring back a consciousness that was once forgotten, once hidden only through the minds that those who can remember you in their past or your past life can help you rise above. And this is what some of the elites are doing, because they have to imagine everybody in the football field. And when you imagine everybody in the football field, it's become more realistic and more believable, because what's in a 3D can also be in a 2D or 1D, which figure out where your consciousness is. So yeah. The reason why I'm choosing the blue door, what does blue represent? What does a door represent? A door is like a portal. We are all portals, no doubt about it. The government knows that we are portals. They're using us to escape the matrix that they have created them from themselves in order for this matrix to exist. Like, let me tell you, there are almost 1 million types of matrix that we cannot really truly experience within of this physical reality, but we can experience it within the mind's eye, meaning the ether, the astral, the ninth version of it in that realm. That's the ultimate completion. That is the supreme version of you. And when it's reprogrammed, this is hi, welcome. This is what's happening to you. You are forgetting who you are. But in order to remember who you are, you gotta get closer to death. Whether that's in the physical or in the spiritual. Some part of you have to experience some type of death. We all experience death every day. Death is a word of transform. Is a transmute, to transitions one soul into another. You might be the same soul, but your body is not of its same soul of spirit that it had once experienced. It's kind of hard to explain. It really is. You have to really have an outside and an inside mind. You have to able to switch you have to turn on and turn off. You have to be AI and be human. You have to be human to have to be spirit. You have to be ego to have, experience. Are we back on? Okay, we're back. Sorry, y'all. It is the internet. It's like, it goes on and it goes off. I'm not gonna be on here for too long. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, something about experiencing different levels consciousness of you. And then when you do that, you're creating a portal, you're creating a door for you to enter, for you to recognize that this is of your frequency. The moment you allow the matrix to create an image of you, that is what you are programmed and designed to do. It's like having a job. It's like having some type of title from this matrix. But once you entitle yourself, because when you entitling yourself, you're going within and not without. Meaning the matrix is out and you are in, which is in spirit. And you can say this is just all the same thing as what I said before. Yeah, it could be, but I could be also just abbreviating it for you so that maybe you can click in your mind that you are not also, not just only here, but you're somewhere else in the mind when you are creating your ultimate realities for you to experience within a matrix. But the thing is, the matrix can hijack your day. The matrix can hijack your moment. Is when you're not paying attention to what thing is like projecting or allowing you to feel of its presence being there, because okay, everything exists for a reason. Why we created it, I don't know what for, but we just created it for us to experience. I don't know why we need to experience extreme such level of human existence when we should already know what this shit is. It should, this this timeline is very fucked up, because how can we design a system, how can we go from a god to human so quickly, and then from a human to a spirit so quickly, so suddenly? Shouldn't everything already be there as it is when we are experiencing what we are experiencing as a breathing thing or a breathing spirit, whatever you want to call it? I don't really know these terms. You figure it out. Don't fucking know. It's just downloads. Shouldn't we already be able to have access to be able to be the key of our reality? Not, oh, we gotta tiptoe around reality because of what consciousness we are in of that moment. Maybe we don't remember being that consciousness because, I don't know, something wants us to figure out how can we, well, this is what I'm basically trying to say. Some of us are allowed to rewrite our history, and some of us are not. Some of us are allowed to rewrite our future. So that way, when the past is risen up again, we already know what to do. But it's not like that for most of us. And I'm trying to figure out a way that they can get their answers to, but I realize they have to walk through whatever it is they need to walk through, and we can't walk through for them. No, it's too much on our plate. We have to try to live for us, and by living for ourselves, that's also stepping outside of the matrix, not what's being projected onto you or influenced by you. Well, influenced to you. I mean, it can be influenced by you. Like, there's another time. Well, there's another version of you from another time that already had this in the Akasha records for you to experience. And then when you're in that moment of time, you should already know what to do. You should already know how to react and not to react. Not everything needs a reaction. Yeah, not everything needs a reaction of what you think. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. This is just part one. I'm gonna be back later. My energy is like, I can't even mask it now. I'm trying to mask it, but it's like, it's whatever. But I'm gonna come back later with part 2 and part 3. And I'm gonna talk about the dream state and the vision from last night. I know some of y'all got it. But anyway, see you in part 2.